Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Forgive me if my camera is a little crooked. I'm trying to compromise here. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you all are staying safe during this shut-in. I hope you're finding something to do. I hope you're getting a lot of relaxation. That is not a corona cough. That is a coffee cough. I just had some lemons, so they were kind of spicy. But thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys are staying safe. So today I want to recap on one of the videos that I did previously because of some of the conversations that I've had with clients, some of the coaching clients that I've talked to. And a lot of times it comes back to the same thing of not, trying to grasp, what is going on with this individual. Why are they doing that? You have to remember that your brain is always trying to your brain constantly tries to get an answer to a problem. If there's a problem, the brain is set up to try to figure out what is going on, try to find answers. And so most of you are why I don't understand. Your brain wants understanding. Put it that way. Your brain wants understanding. And so you have to understand that narcissist is what you would consider a great illusionist. And if you ever know, I remember growing up, I remember being fascinated by the great magician or the illusionist, David Copperfield. I mean, he was just really amazing at the type of things he did, from small to big illusions. I remember when he made the Statue of Liberty disappear and then reappear. And my mind was trying to, which many people did, your mind is trying to figure out how, magic is not real, but they're so good at what they do that, illusionists and magicians are so good at what they do, it really just makes your brain try to figure, makes your mind wonder, how did you do that? What did you do? What all, and you are doing this by yourself. But what you don't realize is that a great illusionist also has a great team. And a lot of times, even when they're in public and when they're around people, the people that are in the audience sometimes are also the people that are on staff. So you're assuming that those individuals are part of the audience, or you're assuming that when they're out in public and they're airing this on television, that the people that are around them are just like stunned fans when they're actually part of the staff and a part of the illusion or the magic trick. And so I remember, if you guys remember a while ago, there was this one magician that came out and made this whole TV series on exposing, the illusions of the magicians. And everybody knows, if you read, that, magicians and illusionists, illusionists, they have this strict code of ethics and this, this code where you don't expose the magic or the illusions. That is what makes their money. That's what makes magic look so real. Illusions look so real. And this guy came on, if you guys remember, he was all dressed in black, and he exposed all the illusions. He exposed all these great illusions that people did. He exposed everything, to show how the magic was done, which was kind of bad for the magicians because, for those that you're watching, now you figured out how they're doing it. So now you're more detailed at watching things that you normally weren't watching before. Listen to what I'm saying. When you find out the truth behind the illusion, it makes you more aware of things you weren't aware of before, things that are going on behind the scene, or things that look like you're paying attention to irrelevant things because other things are going on in the background. Listen to what I'm saying. And so I remember watching like one or two tricks, and one of them was one of the illusionists was at the table and they were dealing with the cards. And while they were dealing with the cards, there were two people that were sitting in the restaurant in the glass, and it was like glass. They were watching the magician, because the camera was there, they were watching the magician do the trick for the people that were standing in front of them. And so they're doing, if you notice, things move really fast, certain things were moving really fast, and then one hand wasn't really moving at all. But he had the people, and they're great actors. So illusionists and magicians have to learn how to act, because acting is a part of the illusion. And distraction is a part of an illusion. If I can distract you, the hand is quicker than the eye. If I can distract you over here, there's a lot that you're not paying attention to in the background and over here that is going in slow motion while all of this is going in fast motion. Like the narcissist, fast talkers, they're doing this, they're moving around so quick, they're doing this, and why are they doing this? And then they're talking, and they're trying to convince you, and then they're gaslighting, and then so all this illusion, because there's other stuff going in the background that they're trying to break your focus from. And so you are distracted, and you're looking at all the little things that are going on right here in the front. Just like when you go to court with a narcissist, they're so busy trying to smear your name and make you look bad and talk about all the little things, and you don't take a bath and you don't brush your teeth and you don't do this and you don't. So all this that frustrates the judge. And so all this to a point where they're doing little stuff in the background, like laundering money, like, hiding finances, anything. They're doing a lot of things in the background that you're not aware of because they have you distracted defending yourself. Or they have you distracted with the fast movement of their hands. Well, in this trick, the guy was doing something with his hands, and then he did something, and the card was stuck in the window behind him. And the people in the window were like, oh, and the people in the front were like, oh my gosh, that was good, but the card was stuck to the window. Well, what people didn't know is the people that were in the back were part of the illusion. And what it was is it was a timing. There were certain things that was doing with the person put the card into the window. And so by the time they turned around, they're acting too. Those are called flying monkeys. Those are called the flying monkeys. They become a part of the entourage for the narcissist. There was another one where he was doing card tricks in front of these people that were standing in front of him. And of course, I'm going by what the exposure of the trick was. But what was happening is everybody was focused on his hand. And so everyone was so intently focused on that hand because they were going to get that trick. I don't know if they were going to win money or whatever, but they were so intensely focused on that hand and what he was doing in that hand that because of the fact that they were so focused on this hand, they never noticed that he had grabbed a card and he had put a card somewhere else, wherever he put this card. But they're so intensely focused on his hand that by the time he pulls this card up, everyone was shocked, but no one ever noticed that he had right in front of him taken the card, moved the card over, and had put the card somewhere else and then picked the card back up and showed him the card. That's the exact same way that a narcissist is. And a narcissist, as they gradually grow, when they're over, they're just doing things and it's very obvious. You see everything that they're doing, everything is exposed. Just like the magician, when they're first learning it, they're being taught by a master magician or master illusionist. Obviously, a narcissist does not have a master narcissist to teach them anything because two narcissists go head to head because they're always thinking they're doing the same thing. One can't get over on the other one. And we'll talk about that later. Two narcissists in a relationship, but business, husband and wife, wife, husband, whatever, but we'll talk about that later. And I'm gonna make sure I put notes on here. But the thing about the narcissist is that they are, guess who their trainers are? Their trainers is us. So every time they get with another person, you get with an educated person, you get with a lower on the socioeconomic status or pole, you get with this person. So they are learning how to manipulate. So they're learning how fragile the mind really is. The mind is really it's easy to manipulate a mind. It is easy to manipulate a mind. And that's why therapists have to be very, very careful, because they are entrusted by the people that they're seeing. Because a mind is very easily manipulated, especially if a person admires you, if a person really likes you. And so, the Bible tells us that, to whom much is given, much is required. So those of you that are Bible scholars, and so for a lot of us to think like that, that you have to be very careful with people, especially when they're wounded and they're looking for hope. They're looking for answers. People that, do these videos have to be very careful because people are hurting and they listen to every word that comes out of our mouth. And so we have to be very careful with the information that we give them because you do have people on YouTube that are narcissists that manipulate. They give very good information. It really resonates with your heart. It gives you answers. It does. They're good at what they do. At the same time, while you are so focused on this right here, you don't realize that you're being manipulated. You don't realize that you're being mocked and laughed at the fact that the mind is so fragile and easy to manipulate. Well, a narcissist begins to see that. They can't put words to it, but they see how easy it is to manipulate people. I've had one say, it's too easy to manipulate people. It's too easy to manipulate a woman. All you have to do is tell them how pretty they are. All you have to do is just rave on how beautiful they are and compliment them on things. And that right there is too easy. You can manipulate them all day long. Now, a narcissist said this, it's too easy to manipulate. All you got to tell them is how pretty they are. All you got to do is compliment them. So that's a person that right there is a person that's not confident about themselves in the first place, because not every woman or not every man is like that. There are some it takes more than just a compliment in order to get in their heart. And so, but they understand that. And so they learn from people. That is how they learn the art of illusion, by dealing with people, by getting prey, by manipulating people, by getting new supply, by operating with people. And supply, supply is not always sexual. Sometimes supply is mind, business people, manipulating them out of money, manipulating them out of businesses, and making them feel good about themselves, So they learn that art of illusion. And a lot of times they keep them focused on this, and they don't know that they're doing things in the background. That is how a narcissist is. They are dysfunctional individuals that are not able to meet their needs. They don't know how to meet their own needs. So in order to meet their needs, they manipulate and take what they want. There is no such thing as negotiating. There is no such thing, because they're always thinking of another way to get what they want from you. One individual told me that her husband, who was a narcissist, was trying to get a car. Well, she had just gotten her a car, a new car, because she needed a new car. I think the car broke down or whatever, got a new car. And so he wanted a new car, but he had already gotten a new car. And so he says, well, you have a new car, I want a new car. And so he would do everything to try to manipulate her, to get her to go and sign her name on this car. And when she didn't do it, all the rage broke out and everything. And then again, he would come back, and then he would comfort her and tell her, I just want us to, and he would do it again. But she was very adamant, I'm not getting ready to do this. And so she was trauma bonded. She was traumatized, then she was stroked, then she was traumatized, then she was stroked, until he got what he wanted. He finally broke her down. But it was that illusion, because all that time when he was doing what he was doing, he was also taking money from her. And she was so focused on what he was doing here that he was taking money, and she didn't realize that he was taking money. Once she discovered that he was taking money, it was a matter of, well, what do you think that it takes to run a household? What do you think it takes to take care of these kids? And she's thinking to herself, he makes a lot of money. Why would he steal the money that I have set aside for the family? It's family money anyway, but why would he steal this money in order to get what he wants? But all the time that he was trying to get the car, he was taking her money to get the car in the first place. But he was telling her it's not costing you anything. And in actuality, it really did. And so they're illusionists. Everything they do, even after you leave the relationship with them, those of you that have been cut off, that don't have anything with them, that can go no contact, that is great, because there's nothing there anymore. There's nothing they can hold over your head, unless there's some type of attachment. They always try to have some type of attachment to you, but just be prepared. They are illusionists. They always try to get you focused. Remember, they try to distract you so that you will react to the distraction. And really, it is irrelevant. It is beyond you. It is beneath you. It's almost like time consuming. They are hijackers of your time. And so they will cause you to focus on things for a long period of time, a lot of times, to get you distracted so they can do something over here in this area. Illusionists. Go study the illusionists. Go study the magicians. The hands are quicker than the eye. And as they're learning these illusions, as these narcissists are learning the art of illusion, or this art of trickery, or this manipulation, they also have to learn how to act the part. And so they have to act the part, when to cry, when to play on your emotions. Are you an emotional person? What is it that you value the most? Is it your children? Is it your finances? Is it your business? Is it your looks? If you're a prideful person, they'll play on your pride and feed you the very thing that'll harm you, and so they also become these great actors. That's why they get away with so much in society. That's why they get away with so much in the court system. That's why they get away with so much with professionals. Because professionals fall for the charm. Professionals, that's a genuine person, and she genuinely, or he genuinely, or and they really don't know that they're being manipulated. They're being played because there is a ulterior motive. There is something that the narcissist is wanting from that individual person. And if you do not play the game, if you're not a flying monkey, which most of them become flying monkeys, if you are not in the game and you are against that narcissist, then your name will be smeared too, or you will be degraded, humiliated, talked about, something's, that's just how they are. So if you don't play the game with them, if you don't give them what they want, if you don't become a part of that harem, and sometimes it's not a sexual harem, sometimes it's a support system harem. If you don't become a part of the staff of the illusion of the magician camp, or the staff to help with these illusions, and get them what they want, then you too will be smeared. You too will be talked about. And so you have to remember that these people are so manipulative. And some of them are so charming, so intelligent. It makes sense what they say. And people don't realize that a lot of times they get trapped in this game with the narcissist because they have a need that they're trying to, or there's something that they want, something that they're trying to get, and they're trying to pull you into that cyclone with them to be a part, the players in the part. And really, a lot of times, the person that you think is the bad guy is actually the person that is the victim. And most people a lot of times don't see it because there's so much evidence that they stack up against that sounds logical, but they really don't know what they're dealing with. They don't know the individual has narcissistic personality disorder. And a lot of times the people that point it out are also mocked. A lot of us coaches are mocked at the fact that you can pick out narcissistic behavior, and especially if they're malignant or if it appears, you can't say that a person has narcissism because of the fact it really requires you to do an assessment. But when you are educated and you begin to see what this hand is doing, and you're watching the other hand while it's playing the game, and you point it out, you become the scapegoat. Think about it. You become the scapegoat. You become now the target of that narcissist because you refuse to comply with what that narcissist is going to, what is that narcissist is trying to do. And so hopefully this has helped you. I just want to recap on that because I had that conversation. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. Sometimes it's to keep up their image. A lot of times it's to keep up that, you got to remember they operate in grandiosity. So it's to keep up that image. It's to keep up their persona, is to make sure that no one sees their weaknesses. They don't want, they want to win. They strive at winning. They have to win. They have to win. And what we teach our children is that you're not always going to win. There's got to be a winner and a loser sometimes. So when you're playing a sportsmanship, you play hard, you do the best that you can, you train. And when you've done the best that you can, and this is teamwork. So it's not all about you. It's a team effort in order to win this sporting event, win this game. Narcissist doesn't see it that way. I win at all costs. If you get money from me, if you win this, you win that, I'm coming back to get you and I'm going to make you suffer. I'll pick out the things that hurt you the most, your finances, your children, whatever you value the most is what I'm coming after because I'm going to punish you for not complying and letting me, or even if you leave, even if you discard me, before I had a chance to discard you, I'm going to punish you whatever way I can. And there are so many people, that I've read about, I've watched, I've talked to, that have literally committed suicide because they couldn't handle the pressure and they couldn't handle the abuse anymore. And the problem is that when they brought the attention to what was going on, they were shunned and laughed at, and all their behavior was brought out in public because what the narcissist said. And so I just wanted to make sure that I highlight that and let you guys know that, this is a tribe, this is a team effort, and we believe you. We understand what is going on. There's a comment that was made the other day. It's I wrote it down, and is you're not a bad person. Now, what they actually said was you're not a bad person. You're responding to your environment. Well, I go back and say you're not a bad person. You're reacting to your environment. You're reacting to your environment, meaning that if you are in a domestic violence situation, say for example with a person with narcissism, you develop coping skills, coping mechanism. You learn how to defend yourself and protect yourself based on the environment that you're in. So it's like you evolve, with the environment that you're in to protect yourself. It becomes a part of your coping mechanism and your daily life. So when you get out, a lot of times people that have been in an abusive relationship, a lot of times when people have been in a relationship with narcissists, they come out doing the same thing that they have been doing while they were in the relationship. Just like they don't know how to get their needs met, the only way that you know how to get your needs met dealing with a person with narcissism is the fact that you have to learn to manipulate. So you have to learn how to hurry up and get that cycle, that cycle of honeymoon phase, tension building phase, blow up phase. So some of you guys try to push them through the blow up phase because after the blow up phase is when you get your needs met because they're love bombing you. So in the love bombing phase, they'll do anything you want them to do. In the hoovering stage, they do anything you want them to do and then it just goes back into a cycle again. And so a lot of you have learned to manipulate in order to get your needs met because you were in a dysfunctional relationship in the first place. And so here, with many of these coaches and with us that understand, we're here to support you and we believe you, and we're doing whatever we can do to make sure that this information gets out and people understand the dynamics of the dynamics and the behaviors of people that have dysfunctional personality disorder, especially like cluster B personality disorders, and in our case specifically, behaviors of those with narcissism, and possibly antisocial personality disorder, which is formerly known as psychopath or sociopath, because a lot of them do have psychopathic or sociopathic symptoms or traits, and then sometimes they actually have it. And so it makes them very malignant, and all narcissists are malignant. It's just that when they also have that added to their personality disorder, it makes them even more malignant. These people don't care. It's like they don't have a conscience whatsoever. They want what they want at all costs. And it doesn't matter who they destroy, who they step on, whose head they step on, whose business they destroy, whose family they tear up. It doesn't matter what lies they tell, whose reputation they tear up, but they want what they want because it's all about them and satisfying their needs. It's nothing about you. Even though it feels good, it has nothing to do with you. So hopefully this has helped. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Make sure you check out my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. Make sure you subscribe and share our videos so you get the information out. She provides you with more information on narcissist abuse from a biblical and spiritual perspective. And of course, those of you that are not believers have went over there and found that she talks right to your heart. So whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't even matter. She's talking right to your heart, and she's talking to you from a spiritual perspective as well, based on, your experience from a spiritual perspective, and then gives you information from a biblical perspective and encouragement from a biblical perspective. She is the presiding prelate of Into His Chambers Global Ministries, she's the senior pastor. She has several, a lot of ministries under her and churches under her that she mentors the leaders. And so it is great, and it is a blessing to know that she is a senior leader over many ministries, leaders, some churches, that she has this knowledge of that type of behavior, and she counsels, provides coaching services for a lot of, the church leadership. So that is a good thing, that the church is now getting this information. And then for my leader, I'm proud to say that she has this knowledge, and she's also teaching them, as they come up with certain instances and circumstances and problems and domestic violence within the churches and everything. So that is an amen. That is a thumbs up. You also have the Honorable Bishop R.C. Blakes. He also talks about narcissism and relationships. Obviously, when you're talking about the pastors, and ministerial personnel, they're doing more than just this. They have, ministries. And so please go and support them, especially my leader and my mentor, my spiritual mother, Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. I also have 2 Facebook pages. One is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. I'm trying to integrate everybody over to Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. That is my book Facebook page. I'm trying to integrate it into one. So I'm thinking about merging the 2 together so that you don't see the other page, because the Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, really, I don't need the professional one. So I'm thinking about merging the 2. So just be prepared that I probably merge the 2 together, and then you'll just see one, which is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. So make sure you share, these videos. It's going to help someone. I'm telling you, it'll help people. Sometimes my videos pop up in the midst of their crisis, and people are getting answers, and they're getting free in their minds, that psychological cage, that psychological torment that they have lived. A lot of them are getting answers now. And when you get answer and you get knowledge, you understand not to focus on all this right here, but to focus on what's going on in the background. That makes you very powerful. You guys are very powerful people. Those of you that are looking for counseling, you can look underneath my YouTube, the little drop box down at the bottom of my YouTube page, and it is BetterHelp.com. It is a sponsor link, BetterHelp.com/ Dr. Carmen. They give you a 10% discount. It's a nominal fee for you to find, and I have it set up where you're looking for someone that specializes and understands about narcissist abuse. I had my little angel from Canada told me that she has had an awesome counselor that she was able to work with that understood narcissist abuse. And I think another person was telling me that they really had an awesome experience. If you're having some financial problems, you let them know, and they do offer grants. So go check out BetterHelp.com/ Dr. Carmen and look for a counselor in your area. At this particular time, I'm not providing counseling through BetterHelp because I'm doing counseling obviously telemental health, for the Washington region. And so if you are in Washington State and you are wanting counseling, please email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. It's DR and then put my name together, carmenbryant@outlook.com. And let me know that you're interested in counseling if you are in the Washington State area. If you are not in the Washington State right now, they've allowed us to do telemental health, so I can go beyond just where I am at in the city where you come to my office, but I can expand out to the whole state of Washington. So if you are in the Washington area and you're seeking counseling, please contact me. Do know that my slots are limited, and a lot of people are contacting me, so I don't have slots available that often. I try to leave enough slots for coaching as well, but they fill up very, very quick. So once you make an appointment with me, you got to stick to that appointment. If you don't, you're going to lose it to someone else on the waiting list, And so for those of you that are looking for coaching, just contact me also, Dr. Carmen Bryant, DR, and then put my name together, Carmen Bryant @outlook.com, and let me know that you're interested, and I'll send you the fees that I charge for coaching. And I've had some awesome experiences with some awesome people doing coaching, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and trusting me, in your time of need. It's truly a pleasure. I learn a lot from all of you, and it's a pleasure to be able to, and an honor to actually put names with faces, like the names of your names on YouTube, and put it together with faces to know who I'm talking to, whenever I'm commenting, when I'm doing lives. And so thank you so much for supporting me. You guys don't know how much I am honored. Like I always tell people, that when you've suffered for so long and you've hurt for so long, sometimes you think that you're suffering in vain. Sometimes you assume that, the stuff that you went through, what is the purpose? What purpose does it serve? And then when you begin to recover from what you went through, and then you're able to help other people, and they're telling you how much they're helping you, that right there is payment in itself. That right there, you have no idea what that does for me. It is such an honor to be able to talk to you guys and help you guys. And, you got some trolls out there, so, we don't pay attention to trolls. But if anybody's harassing you on Facebook, some of you are very good at letting me know and where they're at. I'll do my best, because the tribe is expanding so big and so fast. A lot of times it's a little hard to catch everything, and the more people we get into the tribe, the harder it is for me to catch certain things. But if you let me know what video, let me know what comment, I'll try to do my best when I have time to go through and make sure I block people. My moderators can only block during the time we're on live, but me and my staff have to block, when I'm behind the cameras. And so I really appreciate you guys. I thank you so much for being here. And as always, you guys go and be great.